We are live for UFC Vegas 88 featuring Tai Tuivasa and Marcin Tybura. We got the big three for you right after this.
Broadcasting live from an undisclosed location. This is the TCMMA podcast with your host, Chris Cross.
Whoa!
Dana White privilege.
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
Dana White privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
Yes. You heard it right. Dana White privilege. We're live here, UFC Vegas 88. First fight's about to kick off right now. You got Ovens St. Preux taking on Kennedy Zachukwu. Light heavyweight division. Let's get it on. So OSP versus Kennedy Zachukwu, UFC Vegas 88. We're live. And this is going to be an interesting one, man. Two guys with a lot of long reach. Very tall. Light heavyweight division. And a lot to prove. Kennedy the favorite in this fight for sure. But you got to be careful with OSP, man. Guys capable of coming out of nowhere at any given time. At any given time. Right now they're just feeling each other out, trying to get the jabs going. Again, when you got two guys with long reach, or a long reach, that's going to be the motivation. But, you know, we want to see some KOs.
Let's go, baby!
That's what we want to see. We want to see some finishes. We want to see some big finishes. This is light heavyweight division.
Hamza Chimaev!
Yes, sir. Some big fights coming up, too, throughout the night. Finishing off with Tai Tuivasa and Marcin Tybura. So stay tuned for that. First minute gone. Nothing happening big time yet here. St. Preux versus Zachukwu. And you see Kennedy trying to land those leg kicks. It looks to me like he's getting stronger in every fight because OSP is a big dude, but Kennedy looks big as well and more chiseled. Landing a straight leg kick. Keeping OSP at bay for right now. Now Kennedy gets low in the squat, steps up and lands another straight leg kick. And there you see OSP check it and then land a leg kick of his own. He's got some power, man. Kennedy backs him up with the two left jabs. And they're just kind of going back and forth. You know, the best thing about fighting is as that clock ticks down, round by round, the energy level just picks up until both guys are gassed, tired. And Kennedy with a long reach is kind of matched in that reach with OSP. So he's in the range more than he would be with other opponents, right? A lot of times that reach advantage will be prevalent, big time, but not in this one. And he lands a nice right on OSP, who returns a leg kick. Here we go. 2:45 left. First round, OSP missing on a big left, whiffing. But it's a good thing he didn't connect for Kennedy, for his sake. Man. Kennedy misses on a big right. At some point, somebody is going to connect, and that's not going to be good for the other somebody. OSP with a nice left jab. Come on, fellas. Let's pick this thing up, man. We've gone through 3-4 weeks now in the big three with, like, out of 12 fights, probably 10 decisions. You know? We need to spice this thing up, man. Ooh. OSP lands a big left jab, man. Careful, Kennedy. You can't be getting too, in there too much. Yeah, and I saw that Kennedy was a big-time favorite. I'm like, I don't know, man. He should win the fight, but OSP comes out of nowhere sometimes. He really does. Then he loses fights you wouldn't think he would lose. And OSP's been in the game for a while. Kennedy's kind of still a newcomer, but he's been around a little bit now. Kind of sliding closer and closer into that veteran role. In an extremely tough and competitive division ruled by none other than Alex Pereira, number 4 on our dude list. Looking forward to seeing that fight with Jamal Hill at UFC 300. Go listen to that prediction, man. I was in all types of trouble with that prediction because I'm a big Jamal Hill fan, but I'm a little worried about him returning after the injury. But does that affect the prediction? Interesting. And Kennedy's landing, but he's taking some leg kicks. He's getting hit with some power shots every now and then. But it doesn't seem to be affecting him. 20 seconds left here, first round. And we're cruising down here. Final 10. Big left missed. Whiff by St. Preux, but you get the feeling if he lands that, could be trouble. And here we go. Both fighters make it to the end of the round.
Yes! Yes!
No, not yes. We want to finish. We want to finish. And then these guys go to the corner at the end of round 1, man.
Oh my God, bro.
It's like, here we go again. We want some action. Last week we got a little action. The week before we were lucky to get a finish in the final 3. 1. And then before that it was like 2 straight weeks of 3 decisions in a row. And it makes for a long show, at least. It makes for a long watch party. But ultimately we want to see some big finishes. And your boy Dana White's going to have to step his game up, man, and start booking some fights where we know someone's going to win in potentially dominant fashion.
Dana White privilege.
Yeah, so he could pull it out anytime he wants. Give us a Bo Nickel type situation where he just fights anybody and he just runs through him in 2 minutes. That's what we'll take one of those in the big 3 each week, at least keep it spiced up. But instead we're getting these long drawn out decision type fights. And right now we got OSP and Kennedy Nzechukwu getting ready to start round 2. And it's, how long do you think this one will go in a light heavyweight fight? You expect some power, something to land, and get this thing finished. Kennedy's coming out more active, clearly, in this round. And that's what you got to do to OSP. You got to kind of wear him down. You got to pick up the pace, touch every, 3, 4, 5 seconds like that with a big left for Kennedy. Just continue touching. Don't allow OSP to get comfortable in a position where, he can land a KO on you. And already Nzechukwu is down to a 3-1 favorite from a 5-1 favorite. And OSP is like a 2-1 underdog now. That's way down. So you already see after round 1 this thing getting a little closer. And that's because if OSP wins this round, it's 50-50 going into round 3 immediately. So those numbers coming way down. I haven't even looked at the stats yet. Let me peek in there real quick. See how these guys are looking because it's pretty close. Yeah, 39-36. Kennedy in significant strikes. 25-17. He leads in head strikes. No control time. We like that. Especially when we're looking for a finish. But we're not getting the finish part. 3:30 left, round 2. Yeah, last week we got a nice one with Dustin Poirier. I mean, that kind of broke the streak of decisions or in 1 week finish, smashed in between like 11. So we appreciated the Diamond last week for dropping and finishing St. Denis. That was exciting. Under 3 minutes now, round 2. St. Preux and Nzechukwu continue to tap each other. No big strikes landed here in round 2 just yet. Get in the chat room and let us know what's going on. Who you think's going to win this main event tonight? Tuivasa, Tybura. And please, if that fight goes to a decision for 5 rounds, we got the worst luck of all time. Nice leg kick by St. Preux. And these guys are doing just enough to grab my attention again. Every once in a while. A nice body shot by St. Preux. But everything it's landed other than one this round is more like a tap. Now Kennedy's grabbed the leg of St. Preux. He's got it in the air. He lets go and lands an uppercut. Kennedy with some nice moves getting it clear, but OSP working his way forward still. And man, these guys got the power right now, this deep into the fight, 8 minutes in, to land the KO, because they both look like they're slowing down in terms of power. Not so much the pace, but the power, because these guys have landed over a combined 100 significant strikes. So as this goes on, these guys are going to creep closer and closer to 70, 80, 90 significant strikes. So they're definitely starting to slow down. Again, not the activity, but the power. Come on, Kennedy, we need this one now. And the record's close tonight. I mean, we're either 500 or one above. Very close. We'll look at that during the break, but for sure we got Kennedy winning this one. We needed to come through. Under 1 minute now, round 2. They're starting to pick it up. A big right by OSP. Look out. This is not what you want. Yep. You got to get out of there, Kennedy. Yep. Because OSP wants to be in the clinch, and he definitely wants to get you on the ground and pound. But Kennedy so far stifling all those chances. He's also doing a good job of not letting OSP pin him in the corner. Every time it looks like OSP is going to kind of lock him in the corner a little bit, Kennedy works out of there, and both guys land in the left and kind of dropping their gloves for a second, looking at each other. Man. And there's a tap. 10 seconds left. Here we go. Here we go again. Round 3. It's looking like. And that'll do it. That'll do it. Another decision, maybe. Can't avoid it, man. I know it's crazy that I watched this and look for the finish, but man, isn't that what everybody wants to see? Is it just me? I don't think it's just me. I think everybody wants to see it.
Let's go, baby!
Yeah, please give us something.
Baby, 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 baby!
Oh, man. And it makes for a long fight, too.
Everybody's upset.
I know I am.
Upset.
But we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. You know? We just got to hold on, waiting on round 3. And that's all we can do is wait and wait and wait for something to happen.
Christopher, then you know what? Then maybe that you got a problem because.
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I should just be enjoying the fight, right? But instead, I'm hoping for a finish. And I'm hoping Kennedy gets it, but I haven't seen a lot of power from that angle.
You got a problem because.
Don't do it, OSP. Don't do it. And now, like I told you, it's 50-50 now. The odds are basically even going into round 3. Kennedy's still a slight favorite, but, you know, when it comes down to one round, all those odds are out the window. It's 50-50 now. And we'll peek into the stats in a minute, but I'm sure these guys are getting over 70 and probably 80 each significant strikes. So it's anything but like a slow-paced, boring fight. Oh, OSP lands at left. Kennedy's in trouble. This is not where you want to be with OSP. Look at this. Now he's landing body shots. He's got the hand wrapped around the back of the head. He's looking for the takedown now. And if Kennedy can get out of this, there you go. But nonetheless, he's in a little bit of trouble here in round 3, especially in terms of staying in the fight and winning the round, which both are highly important right now. Boy, these guys are trading, man. Oh, big left by OSP. Oh my goodness. OSP's getting the momentum and the confidence. Look at this. Ducking like 3 in a row. Kennedy lands a right and another right. And now OSP lands a right jab on him. Come on, Kennedy. You better keep trading. Oh, Kennedy's in trouble. Stay in this thing. Oh my goodness. Dang, Kennedy, what's going on here? Jeez. He's down 96-74. That's more than I thought. So both guys are going to be over 80. St. Prue's going to be over 100 if they continue at this pace. Now Kennedy lands a left. Backs up St. Prue. Come on, Kennedy. Come on, Kennedy. Come on, Kennedy. Come on, Kennedy. Nice knee there by Kennedy. He's got to pick it up now. He's got to really, really pick it up. And now St. Prue's a 4-1 favorite. And they keep showing this on the screen because, Kennedy was like a 5-1, 5 or 8-1 favorite. Either one of those coming in. But the thing you need to know is he was a big favorite and now he's a big underdog. And OSP still doing enough to win this round by far. Lands a left. He's been landing a lot of bodies. Oh! A nice knee by Kennedy and a left. Look at this. And now OSP is on the wrong side of the momentum. These guys are going to go at it final 2 minutes. Okay, at least we're going to get a decision. Let's get some strikes being thrown. So Kennedy led 27-25 in round 1. He trailed 40-32 in round 2. And is now trailing 44-29 in round 3. So he's definitely got to still pick it up here in this round. Unbelievable pace here between these two. Unbelievable pace here. 90 seconds left in the fight. Kennedy walks him back. Man, and these body shots by both fighters are really having an effect. This is amazing. This has turned into a great fight here. Potentially the fight of the night now, light heavyweight division, because these guys are trading and taking down the stretch. And you would think two big guys like this at this pace would slow down, but they haven't. It's like the perfect setup of a fight for both guys. Now Kennedy lands a left. OSP getting tired. 1 minute left on the clock. Anything is still possible here in the final minute, I'll tell you right now. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. Good job, Kennedy. Come on. Come on, Kennedy. Boy, both these guys are going to be over 100 significant strikes. This is a great pace, man. Great fight. Oh, my gosh. 35 seconds left. Kennedy lands a knee to the stomach. And OSP's coming forward. He's still up 57-43. I mean, listen to this. These are this is not a bantamweight fight. This is not a bantamweight fight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a light heavyweight fight. Two guys at 205 that look 230. Final 10 seconds. Look at this. Look at this. Kennedy kind of smiling now. They're both finishing strong. Oh, my goodness. What a great fight between these two. Unbelievable finish. And, man, you'd love to see them both get the win, but it's not going to happen. 129-112 for St. Prue in significant strikes. 91-87 in head strikes. Wow. 26-23 body strikes. I mean, it's just pretty darn even, man. What a great fight in terms of two guys being on their feet. If you like a fight with a lot of significant strikes that goes to a decision, this is the one to watch. And definitely going to be the fight of the night. I don't see how this could be topped. Wow. And now we wait for the decision. That's all you can do is wait on the decision. Ladies and gentlemen, just got to wait for it. It's coming. It's coming. And it's nerve-wracking, man. Because we need Kennedy to win this, and I don't think he's going to win. Oh, here we go. Mm-hmm. You know what that sound means. You know what that sound means. It means we're getting nervous. OSP Kennedy Zachukwu headed to a decision. And it should be OSP that gets the win. But again, with these things, you never know, man. You never know. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Split 29-28. St. Preux 29-28. Kennedy. Oh my gosh. And the winner. Oh. Oven St. Preux gets the win. Dang, I know we're in trouble on the picks tonight then. I know we're in trouble on the picks tonight. St. Preux did it, man. That's what we get for taking the easy favorite, right? I had a bad feeling about this one. I had a bad feeling. Oven St. Preux does get the victory here. He's going to move to 27-17. I mean, he's a veteran. That's what veterans do. This fight went down light heavyweight division. UFC Vegas, 88. So stay tuned through the break, right? We got another big one next. Brian Battle's got a lot to prove. Can he get the win? We'll look at it right after this. All right, first fight of the night, heading to a decision. Gregorio, Chad, and Helliger coming together now. And close fight. I mean, you got to respect it from both fighters. But to me, when you look at the numbers, obviously, and Helliger won this thing in dominating fashion. He was up 85-21 in significant strikes. And here goes Bruce Buffer with the decision. 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27 for Chad and Helliger. He gets the win, man. The Canadian's going to move to 13-7, and that's a big win for him. First fight of the night, you know, so you got in Helliger 12-7, Gregorio 8-3 coming in. So sort of a toss-up fight. Gregorio didn't do a bad job in terms of the takedown game. 4 takedowns, 524 of control, but the bottom line is when you lead 57-16 in head strikes, 85-21 in significant strikes, and 144-26 in total strikes, you're going to get the victory 9 times out of 10. Even if the other guy has you on the ground for 10 minutes, the striking is the most important. So Chad and Helliger gets the win, and I believe we're 0-1 on the night, if I'm not mistaken. Bantamweight division, UFC Vegas, 88. All right, third round here. Moises and Ramirez. Oh, nice leg kick by Moises. Ramirez goes down. I don't think he's getting up from this. On the leg kick, TKO. Wow. Yeah, and he's grabbing at his lower left leg. So big finish here by Thiago Moises. And Mitch Ramirez will be fine. But he just continued the kicks throughout the fight and finally lands one. And it leads to the TKO. Mitch Ramirez goes down and just can't continue. And that's the way this thing comes to an end. As you see the replay. Boom. Wow. Great job by Moises. And Ramirez will get up. But listen, Thiago Moises does what he does. And gets the win here to move to 18-7. Impressive performance. Lightweight division. Best in the UFC at UFC Vegas, 88. Jacqueline on her back. Oh, look at this. Trying to get the armbar here. Oh, she straightened it out. The ref stopped it and then said keep going. Never seen that before. Now she's still got the armbar, kind of trying to lock it in. Get it. Get it, Jacqueline. Get it. Get it. Finish it. And she taps and that's it. But it's still going to be filled with a little controversy because the ref stopped it and then said keep going. So that's kind of a weird situation. We'll see what the fighters say about it and the UFC. I'm sure Dana White will be asked about this one, but Jacqueline Amorim gets the win. And it seemed like it was headed that way, but the ref prematurely stopped it. And at the end of the day, it seems like it would have went the same way. But anytime that happens, it's unfortunate. So that's the way it goes down. Jacqueline Amorim, Brazilian, moves to 8-1, women's strawweight division. UFC Vegas, 88. I don't know how this is going to go. Koulibaly, Danny Silva head into a decision. Koulibaly landed a lot more strikes, total, significant, and head strikes. But Danny Silva, 4 takedowns over 5 minutes of control time. And here we go again with one of those situations. One of my favorites. Strikes, first takedown and control. And you never know how this is going to go. Usually leans towards strikes, but this time I think Danny Silva gets it. We'll see. Okay, so there's a little wait here. So that tells me it's going to be a split decision, if I had to guess. Usually when it takes a few extra seconds, and you can immediately tell because the UFC announcers got to scramble to come up with something to talk about for a second. And that usually means they're looking over the cards 2, 3, 4 times, making sure that they got it right. And I'm sure Bruce Buffer making sure he gets it right. You got to love it. Yeah, so 87-56. Koulibaly and significant strikes. Again, Danny Silva, 4 takedowns, over 5 minutes of control. And now finally, I think we're going to get a decision. Here we go. Buffer. Ooh. Yeah, split. Here we go for the winner. Danny Silva, 29-28. All 3 cards. Danny Silva gets 2 out of 3. So Danny Silva gets the win, man. Close fight. And usually when that happens and there's a little extra time, it's always a split decision. Danny Silva's going to move to 9-1. Impressive. Koulibaly is going to fall to 11-3. Great featherweight division fight. UFC Vegas 88. Rafael Filho getting back into full mount now. Man, he's really gone to work over the last 90 seconds. And give credit to Herb Dean, he's letting this go. Because Osborne's just covering up right now. Now he's gonna end up rolling to his stomach. That's not a good idea. He's gonna give up the back. Yep. He gave it up. Look at this, and Filho's gonna lock it in. He's locking it in, and that's it. Osborne taps, and that's it. It's a wrap. Rafael Filho. Tell you when it's close, go with the Brazilians. But he moves to 17-3. Impressive performance here for him. Getting the win with about, 33 seconds left in the first round. That's a first round finish for Rafael Filho over O'Day Osborne. Flyweight division, UFC Vegas 88. Lusa, 100% takedown defense. But battle, despite the numbers, coming off back-to-back victories over AJ Fletcher, submission, and a KO of Gabe Green. He did lose to Renat Fakhretdinov. He should have by decision, and it wasn't a good look. He got taken down 7 times. Angelusa, 2 fight wins in a row, beating Rice McGee, decision. AJ Fletcher, decision. He did lose to Munir Lazez and Jack De La Maddalena prior to that. So we have one common opponent in AJ Fletcher, but Brian Battle submitted him. So that's something to keep in mind, and that's why he's a slight favorite in this fight, and I tend to agree. Angelus is a very good fighter and capable of winning, but you got to pick one, right? And I'm leaning towards Brian Battle here, and it's tough because I always look at the numbers, and I don't like his takedown defense. I don't like his striking in comparison to Lusa. He's got good striking, but not compared to Lusa, and the takedown game is less than Lusa. So everything on paper says Angelus is going to win, but Brian Battle certainly finds ways to win, and against the common opponent, he finished AJ Fletcher. So I lean towards Brian Battle here to grind out a decision victory, likely in significant strikes. Maybe he gets a KO, maybe not, but he'll move to 12-2 here, welterweight division, UFC Vegas 88. Yeah, so another close, interesting fight here, as they all are. I mean, this year, the matchmakers, to me, again, I've been saying this over and over repeatedly, that the matchmakers are just doing a heck of a job this year, making it very tough to make predictions. Very tough. So this co-main event is going to be an interesting one to watch. And some weeks I don't necessarily like the fight card for fight night. And this isn't the best fight card, but you got Gerald Meerschaert on the verge of breaking records. Everybody wants to see what Brian Battle can do against Angelusa, right? Maybe one of these guys can rise up with a victory. and get a big fight next. So we'll have to wait and see how this turns out. But, you know, it's coming, and it's coming quickly this Saturday.
You're watching the TCMMA podcast. And now, back to your host, Chris Cross.
Yes. Welcome back. This is a TCMMA podcast. We are live. UFC Vegas 88 co-main event. Both fighters getting introduced right now. Bryan Battle. 14-second finish. 6th fastest in welterweight history. Is that right? It's only the 6th fastest. That's crazy. How did 5 other guys get finishes quicker than that? I mean, we know Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. But geez, there's 4 others in between that and 14 seconds. That's crazy. So again, both fighters getting introduced. This fight's getting ready to go down. And I'm highly interested to see what Bryan Battle can do in this one. So here we go. Both fighters introduced. You got Bryan Battle versus Ange Loosa, co-main event, UFC Vegas 88. And hopefully, this fight is over quickly. That's what we want to see. We want to see a quick finish. Both fighters touch gloves. Here we go. You know, but Ange Loosa's low to the ground. Quick guy. He's going to be tough to find for Battle. And already Loosa comes in. Loosa. He goes by Loosa, but I call him Loosa because of the 2 O's. I don't know. Loosa. Oh, here comes Battle already with another knee to the body. Flying knee, really. Oh, and already Loosa's backing off. Loosa takes a leg kick in the right. Now he drives in for the takedown. That's a good time for Battle. He defended it. And another knee to the body. So already Battle getting off. And that's what you want to see. 4:20 left in round 1. And Loosa had to go in for the takedown and now tie him up and clinch because he was getting the worst end of everything here. We're only a minute in. You know, welterweight's one category above lightweight, so you still got guys that can grapple. And now Battle gets on top. He's in the full mount for the second, but he didn't hold it. Ange Loosa gets out. Now Battle's going to look for another knee to the body. There he goes. And drives Loosa back into the fence. And this is good for Loosa right now to kind of breathe, regather yourself. 3:45 left in the round. It seems like 4 minutes have passed, but it's only been a minute. That's it. Let's go, Battle. Loosa's a strong guy, but Battle, man, he's got a lot of power in those hips, man. Because you look at Loosa and the biceps and shoulders, and you're like, man, he's much stronger. Much stronger than Battle, but even in the clinch, you see Battle just walking him back to the fence every time. Look at Loosa looking up at the time. There's a lot of time left. It's only 2 minutes. Battle pushing the pace. I like it. And we're not sure what the record is tonight, but I know we lost the last one, and it's really close now. Might even have a losing record on the night. We'll look at it here before the main event, but Ooh, and a nice body shot by Battle. And Loosa punches off, but this is good for Battle. And let's see if Loosa still is springy and is quick. And he starts it out with a leg kick and another leg kick. Doesn't phase Battle as he comes forward, a straight leg kick. And Battle's landed up top, but it's also been the body strikes, the knees, kicks, punches that have really kept Loosa off balance. And I'm amazed, you know, the opportunities that Bryan Battle got to get into the UFC, then gets in here and has looked strong, and you get a 14-second finish, 6th fastest in a welterweight division, and all of a sudden you're on your way. All of a sudden you're going to be around for a while. You're more likely to re-up with bigger contracts. You just got to keep winning. That's what is a stake for a lot of guys in the UFC, but especially Bryan Battle right this second. Nice right by Losa to get out of there. Come on, Battle. Now it's Losa picking up the pace a little bit. Battle lands a left, backs him up. And it is amazing how these fights we've seen, and the storyline continues with all the decisions in the big three over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks. And you get a fight like this with guys that are, well, you get a fight like the last one with OSP, where the 2 light heavyweights are over 100 significant strikes, and it still goes to a decision. Now you got a fight like this, big right leg kick by Battle, and these guys are swinging here. 40 seconds left. But again, you get a fight like this where it looks like something big's going to happen early, and here we are near the end of the first round. And obviously, guys can still get finishes at any time in the fight, but it's almost like you get through the first few minutes and both guys get into a rhythm, and you start cruising through time real quick. And there's a tap. 10 seconds left. Round 1. Battle lands a left. Nice. And another left and a right combo. And, you know, you could say a good start for Battle and a decent finish. Angelusa had his moments too, but, you know, we creep into the break here at the end of round 1, and you're not really sure who got that round. Let me look at the stats because that'll help us as we go forward. So Battle 26-17 in significant strikes, 18-5 in head strikes. So he's got to have this round, right? 8-4 in body strikes, 133 of control on 1 takedown. So even though you're watching the fight and it looks like, okay, Battle's getting the upper hand a little bit, you look at the numbers and you say, man, forget about it. He's dominating in the first round. So he's leading right now as we await round 2. And man, it's unbelievable. These fights, just battles, man. But I'll still take a finish. I'm willing to sacrifice all this great fighting for a big finish. And round 2 underway, both guys coming out strong, already with jabs, trying to keep their opponent off of them. And some big lefts by Losa now. But on the feet, even when Losa lands punches, Bryan Battle's still outworking him. It's just, you know, the big question coming into this fight too was, can Battle get a big decisive victory? Not just a decision win where you look good, and that's great too, but a big decision or a big finish. And now you get Losa, who needs a time here. The ref gives it to him. And it seemed like they might have bumped heads. So he gets 5 minutes if he wants it. I don't see this going that long. Oh, it was the eye poke. Forgive me. Definitely an eye poke. And a butt. So Angelosa against the corner, against the fence right now, trying to blink with that left eye. And the ref's going to call in for the doctor. So here we go. And, you know, the ref's looking at it, but it's nothing serious. It's just probably one of the weaker eye pokes you're ever going to see. But I don't see the look on Losa's face like, hey, I want to fight. So the doctor's saying, yeah, this is something you can work through. Now he's going to wipe down the eye, but Losa's taking all the time he wants and needs here. And he's really going to extend this thing. Let's see. Boom. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a butt. But the complaint here, and there it is. You get the eye poke with the right thumb. Oh, and they're saying that's it. And Bryan Battle goes to all fours. See, and Brian Battle can't believe it. Like, I just don't think Losa wants to fight. I'm going to be real with you. Because this is going to be a stoppage now. Doctor stoppage. And I guess Brian Battle's highly upset. And I believe they asked Angelosa if he wants to keep fighting, and he said no. It's crazy. I mean, that's not like a big poke. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but that's not a big poke. And Angelosa says no at about a minute and a half that he doesn't want to keep fighting. Didn't see it on the screen. This is what they're saying. And it's amazing to me. Like, why don't you take the full, at least take a good 3.5, 4 minutes. Give yourself another 2 or 3 minutes, and let's see what happens. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a no contest or what. But it's only, it's early. It's 6.5, 7 minutes into the fight. And if they scored it right now, I think Battle would win, which I don't think they can do. Wow. Yeah, and Angelosa looks fine. Lusa let me down in this one, man, as far as fighting. And I don't think Losa wanted it. Here we go. Yeah, the doctor. Okay, doctor recommendation. It's considered a no contest. And Brian Battle cannot believe it. And now they're talking shit. Ooh, they're talking junk. Yep. Wow, dude. They got to both be held back now. Look at this. And they kind of walked in front of each other. I'm like, this ain't going to be good. And Brian Battle is like, this is some bull. And then now Angelosa wasn't happy about it. And now he wants to fight. Brian Battle said, I'm whooping your behind. And that's what happened. Listen, Brian Battle's whooping his behind, and Angelosa didn't want to fight anymore. And it's tough to say that, but that's what it looks like. It could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. They got to be separated. Bisping talks to Battle, and he's not going to be happy about this. And again, both guys got to be separated here at the end of a no contest welterweight division. UFC Vegas 88. Unreal, man. Woo! We got fireworks in this one. We got fireworks. Listen, stay tuned. We're going to come back, trying to get back early from the break here. We'll have plenty of time to look at the record tonight and get into all that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. First, you got all these guys, UFC fighters now wanting to get into boxing. I mean, it's crazy. Francis Ngannou was the next wonder boy of boxing until he got KO'd by Joshua. Now it's like, what's next? You might as well give up boxing. I mean, UFC fighters are not boxers. And all of you that want to see this stuff take place and really think that UFC fighters are going to go in there in boxing and beat professional boxers, because it's not going to happen, because the skills are limited. There's no takedowns. There's no clinch. As soon as you touch each other, the ref breaks you up. It's not like a real fight. It's boxing. In a real fight, if someone clinches you up, hey, there's no one there to say, time, break you all up. It's not going to happen. So UFC fighters are at a clear disadvantage because their skills are thrown out the window. And now they're just limited to striking. And Francis Ngannou can strike, but he can't box. He can catch you once, then dive in for the takedown, take you down, and ground and pound you till the fight's over. You can't do that in boxing. And in boxing, if you get in trouble and you can't tie up, you're in trouble. In the UFC, if you get in trouble that way, in the boxing or the striking, you can dive in for the takedown, land a takedown, and give yourself some time to breathe. So these are the problems that UFC fighters are facing in the boxing world. It's just a major, major problem that they're not going to get past. They're real fighters. Growing up, we didn't know how fake boxing was. Now we know it's fake. The moment that two fighters are separated, it's fake. The only way boxing is not fake is that the fight starts and one guy KOs the other guy before there's any tie-ups, anything like that. But you're still taking away the takedown defense, takedown ability, all that stuff. All that stuff is out the window. It's just a completely different fight. And UFC fighters don't have a chance. So their best, and you see Jake Paul's beating them all. Their best look or best shot is what Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal are doing. And they're doing it because they're probably going to make more money than they would in a UFC fight. I haven't seen the figures. I don't know that for a fact, but that's the general direction. 1 or 2 fights and you're paid for life basically in boxing. And boxing's always been that way. No one knows who the undercard is or these fighters on the undercard. We only know the main event. In the UFC, we know all the fighters, so the money is spread out a little differently. And they're under contract regardless if they're like in the main event or whatever it may be. They might get some pay-per-view points or money on the back end, things like that. If they're the main event, maybe the co-main. But for the most part, they're under contract for a series of fights. In boxing, they have to pay the headliners good money because that's the only reason people are going to watch. And then they got to drag it out for an hour and a half, 2 hours before the main event starts because this is the only time they're really getting real views. So, of course, these guys are going to make more money than in a UFC setting, and you can't blame them. But if they're going to boxing to make it a career, they're going to be quickly mistaken, as Francis Ngannou was. Now, you got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fighting. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen, like a 20-something-year-old. Not sure exactly how old Jake Paul is. I guess I could look it up, but Mike Tyson's in his 50s, I believe, and it's just not even a fair fight. I'm already hearing people saying, man, Tyson's going to KO him. That's always possible. I mean, it's Tyson. But the reality is, if you saw the Roy Jones Jr. fight, it was so sloppy. They tied up 100 times. That's not going to happen. Jake Paul's going to be able to keep the distance, pick them apart. He's going to be quicker. He's younger. He's not nearly as good of a fighter as Tyson was, obviously, but that was when Tyson was 18 to 25 in his prime. It's not the same Tyson. Now, will they have him filled with adrenaline? Whatever he's got to do to give himself a chance, I'm sure. Will he be crazy and wild? Yes. It will be better than the Roy Jones fight because there's a certain level of respect there. Like they're trying to win the fight, but they're also trying not to KO each other to some degree. It's like it's a fight, but it's not a real fight. This is a real fight. So Tyson's going to come in like an animal, and he's probably going to look good for a few rounds, but he's going to quickly get tired. First, you got Chaos Covington in a battle of words with Ian Machado Gary.
Chaos.
And that's exactly what it is. It's chaos, man. Anytime Colby gets on the mic.
Chaos. Chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah. Because he's going to say some wild stuff like Ian Gary already had his shot and he didn't want it. So what's going to happen if he's even afraid to say words? What's going to happen when he gets locked into a steel cage with Colby? It's not going to be good for him.
Chaos.
Yeah. So Ian Gary gets in there and it's just like,
Oh, no!
Oh, no. And I like Ian Gary. He's got a shot to be Colby. You know, the thing with Colby is Colby shies away from fights like this. Colby does not want to fight down. He always wants his next fight after this one to be for the title. So Colby's going to look up, or he's going to fight someone right at his level that he's pretty sure he can beat, who's got weak takedown defense, who he can, you know, tie up and control. And if you're Colby, there's nothing wrong with that because Ian Gary is not a lot to gain, but everything to lose type situation. And I hate to say that about Ian Gary because he's on the rise, but if Colby beats him, then they're going to call Ian Gary a bum. So the fact is, you can't really blame Colby for not taking somebody's fights. It doesn't do much for him, especially when he's number one contender behind Usman. You're not taking all these other fights against number 5s and number 6s. You lose that fight, you're not fighting for the title probably ever again. So there's a lot to lose and very little to be gained. And I'm not saying this is necessarily the right path for fighters to take, but this is what Colby does, and he's been successful in doing it. He's going to get himself back to a title shot, hopefully, especially now that we all know and it's been confirmed that he was fighting with an injury against Leon Edwards, and that's why it didn't look great. I still think he can beat Leon, but he's got to be 100%, and he, you know, obviously there can be no setbacks during that fight like there were last time. And I wasn't a believer until I saw that it was for real. I got on here and told you Colby looked terrible. There's no excuses. All these things when he lost to Leon Edwards back in December. It was a terrible way to end the year. We needed that main event to come through. Colby didn't come through. And in watching that fight, it just looked terrible. So the injury later when it was confirmed made a lot of sense. Now, in terms of Khamzat Chimaev, before we get out of here, there's not much news coming in right now. It's real quiet. I mean, it's real quiet. It makes you nervous as a fan. You know, and even as I look now, I see nothing. See nothing for days. Khamzat's not in the news. He's not saying anything. And all we know is that Khamzat might have likely fought at UFC 300 if it wasn't for the visa. Yeah, you got the Ramadan thing, of course. That sounds good. But I think if they would have offered Khamzat a title fight, he'd have had to take it regardless of what time of year it is, because he might not get offered another one for a while. As you know, as a fan, we've been waiting forever. So Khamzat's on the back burner, and who knows when he's going to fight again. Who knows who he's going to fight next. It's a terrible time to be a Khamzat fan, because we recognize how good the guy is. I got him #1 on the do list for a reason, but yet we can't secure a fight. I mean, it's just terrible. As we move forward into the main event, heavyweight division, it's a big one, man. Tai Tuivasa versus Tybura. Marcin Tybura at 265 pounds, heavyweight division. It's a big one. And we're sitting at 4-4 right now. Right? We're 61-36 overall. It's not bad. We've had 2 solid weeks and really stretched out the win column. But we got to start putting together a series of wins in the main event. And hopefully it starts this week. But let's get into that prediction right now. In the heavyweight division at UFC Vegas 88, your main event, you got Tai Tuivasa coming in at 15-8, taking on Marcin Tybura, who comes in at 24-8. So 2 guys desperately needing a win. Tybura, 1 inch taller, is 6'3". He's getting up there, though. He's 38 years old. Tuivasa at 30. Tybura, 3-inch reach advantage. He fights right-handed. Tuivasa fights left-handed. Both guys just over 3.5 significant strikes per minute. Tybura can land a takedown like once every 3 rounds. So don't expect a lot of takedowns in this fight. Tuivasa, though, 54% takedown defense. That's not too good. Lost 3 in a row now to Cyril Gane, Sergey Pavlovich, and Alexander Volkov, all by finish. So it's not looking good for him. His last win was against Derek Lewis when he was riding high. He got the 2nd round KO at a time where that KO was very important. Now, Tybura, on the other hand, lost to Tom Aspinall in his last fight by KO, but beat Blagoy Ivanov and Alexander Romanov prior to that. So again, both guys very close. Both guys coming off at least 1 loss. Definitely coming off a loss. But when you look at the odds, it's almost even here. This is going to be a great fight. And, you know, one of these guys is going to move to the bottom of the barrel in the division. The other guy is going to be looking upward in their next fight. And it's very close, but I'm going to lean towards Tai Tuivasa getting back in the win column and getting the shoey going once again. I like Tuivasa to grind out a victory here, likely by 2nd round KO, if I had to guess. But one way or another, he's getting the finish, in my opinion, with the 16-8 heavyweight division, UFC Vegas 88. Yeah, let's go shoey, let's go Tuivasa. And it's not going to be a huge crowd like it would in an arena when he's going to go up and grab someone's shoe, pour a drink in it, and down it. But if he wins, he's still going to do that. It's like made for TV, man. You got to love it. I like Tuivasa. Yeah, he got rocked by Derek Lewis. Yeah, he suffered some losses, but he's still a legitimate fighter. Make no mistake about it. This guy's very good, and he's capable of beating Tybura. You just got to go in and make it happen, and that's why we're taking him. And you look at the numbers, and it could really go either way. It's almost 50-50 in terms of the odds. But at the same time, you got to pick one. You got to pick one.
You're watching the TCMMA podcast. And now, back to your host, Chris Cross.
Welcome back to the TCMMA podcast. Final fight of the night, Tai Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. This fight's on deck. Both fighters now in the octagon. We got just a second. And it's not looking good tonight, man. Let me just count these up because I haven't even had a chance. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 5 wins, and 6 losses. Ooh. 5 wins, 6 losses. So if Tuivasa gets this, we're 6-6 on a night. And at least we get the main event. So it's not going to be great either way, but, you know, if we can get the 5 and a loss here, if we go to 5-7 a night and 4-5 in the main event, it's going to be a sad state of affairs, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a sad state of affairs. Oh my goodness. You can't be serious. Well, it is what it is, man. But let's get to the main event as both fighters get checked in. And now you know how bad we need this fight. Tuivasa versus Tybura. 2 decently high-level heavyweight fighters, right? And we've seen Tuivasa go on a run where he was just KOing people. He's doing the shoey in the crowd. You know, he's got this whole thing going. And then he starts losing. Kind of wiped all that out. You know? Kind of wiped all the shoey stuff out. But, you know, all's forgiven. If he wins, does he do the shoey in front of 200 people?
Whoa!
I'd like to see it. Don't matter if it's in front of 2 people or 2,000 or 20,000 for that matter. Bottom line is, we just want to see the shoey. Come on, Bam Bam. Come on, Big Ty. So Tybura getting introduced first. And you heard the prediction, right? He's 24-8. Guy's 6'3", fighting out of Poland. Slight favorite, too. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on, Tuivasa. We need it, man. We've had a couple 6-6 nights. We did have 1 5-7. It was looking rough for a little while. And then we bounced back with 2 big weeks, and now we're back into the gutter. So Tai Tuivasa 15-6, right? Got his record out there to about 15-3, 15-4, and then suffered a couple losses at the hands of Derek Lewis. But he's looking to get back into the good graces of the UFC, and that's by winning. Not only winning, trying to win big. Tuivasa introduced, and that's it. This thing's about to go down. And I'll tell you right now, this will be the worst luck of all time if this thing goes to a decision. And still, the last fight was a no contest. Brian Battle, Angelusa had to be separated at the end of the fight. That was pretty wild. But we should finish with a bang right now. So here we go. Tai Tuivasa, Marcin Tybura, 2 high-level heavyweight fighters.
Let's go, baby!
Getting ready to lock horns here, man. Herb Dean is reffing this thing.
Whoa!
Gotta love it. You know, Herb Dean's going to let it go for a minute. Herb Dean will let it go. And this fight
You got a problem because
is underway.
Christopher, then you know what? Then maybe that you got a problem because
Maybe. But I just want to see a KO. Tybura backs off Tuivasa with a shot to the body and lands a second one. 20 seconds gone here. And a nice uppercut. Now an elbow by Tuivasa. These guys are going to be swinging. Here they go. They're not waiting. They're not trying to go 5 rounds. This is not going 5. This is not going 5 rounds. And the thing I like about it is they're not planning for it to go 5. Tuivasa already landed a big right. Now another big right. And here we go. Tybura wipes his head and looks at his glove and is kind of amazed at what he's seeing. 1 minute gone here. Okay, and I'm going to say, based on what I'm seeing, there's a 90% chance this don't go 5 rounds. But I'm leaving some room for error. Nice leg kick by Tybura. Caused Tuivasa to miss the elbow. Ooh. Now Tybura landing a right and a left, looking for the takedown. And this is what he would need right here to kind of slow Tuivasa down, who's got the upper hand here early. And Tybura's looking for it. And Tuivasa cannot get any underhooks, and now he gets taken down. Big takedown by Tybura. And this is a 9 versus 10 in the heavyweight division, and Tybura is suddenly looking like he's in a much better situation on top here. He cannot get the full mount. Tuivasa's got the half guard in on the right leg. But Tybura in a good position here. And now you have Tuivasa looking to work his way up the fence, and now he's giving up the back. And look at this. Tybura all over him. And this is not good for Tuivasa. And this has got me nervous as heck. Come on, Tuivasa, stand up. And he's looking at his corner for help, and it's not good. He's not finding any way to get out of this, man. And Tybura's pounding away now. Look at how this thing has changed. And Tuivasa's in trouble. Oh, my goodness. And next week main event is tough, too. This could be not good for us. And Tuivasa not responding. He's just covering up and putting the right hand in front and trying to block. Over 2 minutes left in the round. Tuivasa just got to try to hold on here. But Tybura has taken the back and is really in a dominant position. And after the elbow landed by Tuivasa, Tybura said, hey, let's take this thing to the ground. No need to put myself in harm's way. And that's what's happened now. 1:45 left, just a long time for Tuivasa to hold on. And he's taking shots from behind, and now you have a rear. Oh, he locked this in good. Oh, Tuivasa's in trouble. Tuivasa's in trouble. And look at his face. He cannot get out of this. It's not looking good for him. And Tuivasa's in trouble. And he's trying to fight the hands. He can't fight the hands, and it's underneath, but I don't know. It looks like it's sliding a little bit. Come on, Tui. Come on, Tui. Keep that chin down. Keep that chin down. And, man, it's like an inch off. It looks like he's giving a thumbs up. Got a whole minute left. Oh, gosh. And it's amazing that he's held on this long. And he's taking some deep breaths. And that's it. That's it. And Tuivasa's not going to argue it. He was taking some deep breaths. And Tybura gets the win. Dang, man. Wow. What a rough year. 5-7 on the night, 4-5 in the main event. Rough year. After 2 years of getting used to going like 15-2, 14-3, and now all of a sudden we're 4-5. And it goes to show you that these fights are tough to predict, because I just didn't see Tuivasa losing this fight at all. No chance. And Tuivasa doesn't even tap. Doesn't even tap. And he held on for a good minute. But Marcin Tybura is going to get the rear submission. And it's unfortunate because Tuivasa was landing some big shots, man. Some big rights and lefts. Landed a big elbow. Had Tybura in trouble. And Tybura just said, you know what? I'm going to go to the takedown game. I'm going to control you that way. And eventually, I'm going to finish the fight. And Herb Dean got in there at exactly the right time. And no shoey tonight. Marcin Tybura gets the win here. He's going to move to number 9 in the heavyweight division after this big win over Tai Tuivasa at UFC Vegas 88. Well, that's the way it turns out. Unreal. Unreal. And we're in bad shape, ladies and gentlemen. Full panic mode. Going into Vegas 89 next week, which is what, Amanda Ribas and Rose Namajunas? And And we made that prediction. At least we made the prediction already, so we don't have to sweat it. But nonetheless, man, we're in rough shape in terms of the picks. We were riding high for 2 weeks. Now we're riding low. Riding low. But listen, that's going to do it here, man. At least we got 2 finishes. One was a no contest on an eye poke. That should have continued. We have more on that tomorrow for sure. And then now Tuivasa goes down. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Rough night, UFC Vegas 88. This your boy Chris Cross. This is a TCMMA podcast. I hope all y'all have a great day. And God bless as always. Peace.